This week, I was on a work placement with the Scottish Parliament's Broadcasting Department, which gave me an insight into what's involved in producing a programme for broadcast. I went behind the scenes to find out more.
In this room we keep all the equipment to do with broadcasting, be it cameras or microphones or any of the audio-visual stuff. In this wall we keep all the cameras, as we have 3 camera kits which are stored here at the moment. 2 DSR 500s here, each with their own tripod, sound recording kit, and wheels for moving them around. And then over here in this one we keep the EX1, which is what I'm holding here. It's got its own lighter tripod.
My placement began with an interview with local MP Michael Matheson, SNP.
That was an interview for Holyrood's Highlights. That was Michael Matheson, who is Deputy Convener of the European and External Relations Committee. Today they were taking evidence from John Swinney, who is the Cabinet Secretary for Finance and Sustainable Growth. They were taking evidence on the European Union's response to the financial crisis and basically asking him how the Scottish Government were applying and using any grants or money that the European Union are providing and whether or not they're using it effectively or not. So we've now done the interview and then we'll go into the edit suite and we will cut his interview up with actuality from the committee.
One of the highlights of the week was being shown the main chamber and given an in-depth look at how the technical equipment operates. I learned a lot about the autocue and how it works, and also how the cameras in the main chamber are linked together. BBC's Alan Meldrum provided me with a great insight into the technicalities of how it all works. Along with the team, I observed an interview with SNP Andrew Welsh, who gave a gloomy look on the economic status for the upcoming year.
At a time of recession, that we now have reached record levels of borrowing. One estimate puts the debt at somewhere over 1 trillion and up to 1.5 trillion. So in other words, what's being created is almost a perfect financial storm, and that it's like a tsunami waiting to hit Scotland in 2010-11, because our budget then will be affected. It will be the tightest settlement that we face, dire straits financially.
My next stop was on the bottom floor of the Scottish Parliament's building.
So yeah, all it was is that
It was too late.
it was too late coming in.
That our construction industry has got to be helped, so that there may be construction contracts which we can't afford, and we're taking evidence from finance.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, it's Wednesday lunchtime. It is 5 to 2. We have an interview in 5 minutes' time, and we'll be speaking to Jeremy Purvis. Jeremy Purvis is a Liberal Democrat member of the Scottish Parliament, and at 5 o'clock tomorrow night he will sponsor a members' business debate. And that debate is on care homes, specifically private care homes and their accountability. If you have an issue with them, can you call them to account? So we're waiting here in the garden foyer at the moment. If you pan to your right, you'll see Douglas is all set up to do the interview. The garden foyer can be a difficult environment to cope with. As you can see, there's different shafts of sunlight, and there's also different audio levels to work out with, especially if women walk past with high heels. So I'm the producer-presenter of the programme. This is our final item that we're going to do, and it'll be a teaser. The programme will be broadcast at 12:30 tomorrow, and at the end of the programme I'm going to say something along the lines of, make sure you tune in at 5 o'clock tonight for this debate by Jeremy Purvis. It's on care home accountability. Here's a quick teaser on it, and then we'll cut to this interview which we're doing now, and Jeremy will say this is an important issue and why. Okay, we're doing this as a teaser. Okay.
I discovered on my work placement that patience is required when preparing for interviews. There are waiting periods where the crew have to prepare technically and also be prepared for that crucial moment.
I'm editing together the footage that you saw me earlier filming with the small XD cam. This is for the weekly highlights package. This is an interview that we've shot with the MSP Jeremy Purvis, who you can see here. We filmed a shot of him talking with Andrew, like this, to set up the scene, and we recorded a voiceover, which will play under that, to telling the audience what's happening. Then you have the actual interview with Jeremy. Now Andrew asked Jeremy 2 questions. To bridge the gap between them, we have a shot of Andrew nodding, acknowledging what Jeremy says, which is a sort of a trick in the industry which you can use to bridge two different shots together. So right now I've assembled all of the interview on the timeline, and I'm just inserting the shot of Andrew nodding to bridge the gap.
As part of the broadcast coverage of Parliament, each week we do a highlights package covering some of the major items that were taking place in Parliament over the previous week. In the past it was purely done as VT packages edited together one after the other. We're trying to move more to a studio type environment, and for this purpose we're using one of the committee rooms. So Andrew will be interviewing one of the politicians about the major events over the past week.
Well, this is me rigging the sound kit for the live programme, and basically we have a couple of microphones, one for Andy which will be in this position, and then one for the guest which will be over here. I've got his talkback which he'll plug his little earpiece into there, and he'll be able to hear the gallery talkback from downstairs. Down here we have a little monitor which will show the guest the packages, VT packages that we're going to play in, and this will be the guest microphone here, and try and keep it as unobtrusive as possible.
And Andrew's here, and
yeah, Andy's sounding fine.
Just about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So I'll be referencing that camera, but you just forget about it, you just look at me. We've got Alan, and Alan's a student from Julian College. He's doing some of his own filming for this. Hello and welcome to Holyrood Highlights as we look back at the week so far in the Scottish Parliament. This week we welcome Mary Scanlon, the Scottish Conservative member for Highlands and Islands. Hello Mary. Well, the issue that's been dominating the news agenda, both at home and abroad, is that of swine flu. And yesterday the Cabinet Secretary for Health updated Parliament on the situation in Scotland, as Douglas Carter reports.
Nicola Sturgeon told Parliament that a total of 32 suspected cases of the swine flu virus had been reported in Scotland, but emphasised that the risk to the public was low and that the government was prepared.
The highlight of the week for me was seeing the television gallery and the operation of an edit, which requires a high level of focus and skill. The controls can be used to select a seat number, choose camera, type number and enter.
Sound, right? Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if Alan's worn his blue shirt recently. How many have you got?
I've got about 3 this colour, 2 of which are respectable and one of which is really quite casual.
So there's 2 days at least that I could get caught out.